Welcome to the Bookers Alliance podcast, where we hold the pencil and the pencil is power. Coming at you right now is your host, Marky Mark, along with the man, the myth, the legend, Frank Donaldson. Join us as we discuss the ever-changing landscape of professional wrestling. So hang on tight, you jabronis, and enjoy the ride. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for joining today's episode of the Bookers Alliance podcast. Come on inside the house, bring yourself up a ringside seat, get your soda, your popcorn, your whiskey, get everything you need, because we got a lot of moving and a lot of shaking going on today.
Oh, yeah, there's a whole lot of change going on, as the song says, so we got to talk about it. We got to catch everybody up.
Yep, we got people going, we got people coming.
So this isn't gonna be a Liv Morgan episode this week. We're gonna keep it just to the changes. So.
Early sponsor, Blue Chew.
Oh yeah, before the spot, but the main sponsor of the week, we got to get the Blue Chew segment in.
Oh yeah. All right, so we do have a sponsor this week. It's a new sponsor. All right, tell us about it. Educate us. They heard our episode. They came knocking, so they said, "Hey, would you like to have our whiskey on your show as a sponsor?" Absolutely, we don't turn down whiskey.
No, and we definitely don't turn down sponsors. We tell them, what you just say, come knocking. If you won't come knocking, we'll open up the door. Get them.
So this week's sponsor is Green River Wheated Bourbon Whiskey. Never tried their whiskey before, but cheers to a new whiskey. Sir.
All right, break it in.
Cheers to a new one. Ooh, I like.
I do taste the flavors in there. I do taste the cherry in there.
Yeah, you get the maple, the brown sugar, the cherry flavor.
Sounds like pancakes.
Sound like pancakes. Made me want breakfast.
Anytime we start talking pancakes, it's going to be a good show.
Hey, Waffle House. Yeet.
Yeet. So speaking of that, so we got feedback from our last week's show about our Yeet episode. Now, first feedback I got, somebody told me to keep an ear open to SmackDown, because apparently one of the Usos listened to our episode, not the Yeet master though. I mean, kind of the Yeet surrogate. Jimmy Uso heard it, and he came and made sure to say no Yeet. And I told him, now wait a minute now.
Yep.
Don't be trying to shut nobody down. Now I don't know if he was trying to throw shade, or if maybe he was, throwing us a bone or what. I don't know what was going on, but so we're going to change it up. We ain't saying yeet no more. Nope. We ain't saying no yeet no more. From now on, if we're going to say anything, we're going to say hell yeet.
Hell yeet.
Hell yeet.
Cross between Jey Uso and Stone Cold Steve.
Absolutely. Give me a hell yeet.
Hell yeet.
Hell yeet.
I love it. I like it.
All right. We took it. T-shirts out on the web, prowrestlingtees.com. Go to our site. Check us out.
That's what Booker would say if he was like, I like it.
Oh, yeah. He would love it. He'd say, oh, yeah, man.
Shucky ducky now.
Oh, yeah, man.
All right. So we talking about moving and shaking. So we talking about everybody who left WWE, either by contract expired, either by they said they weren't going to renew the contract, or either by they just let them go, or people who left AEW.
Which all of them left by hook or by crook.
Yeah, there's some circumstances there we're going to get into.
There was a whole lot of get me the hell out of here going on over on that side this week. But damn, what a week. I mean, what the hell? It's been 7 days since we recorded, and what the hell? I mean, we got a damn near a whole new roster on one side of the coin here.
Yeah, some stuff going on. But first off, before we get all the way into our main topic here, we do have our first WrestleMania 41 match announced.
Okay, what match you got?
We got Jey Uso.
Yep.
Versus Gunther.
Yep, as a result of a beatdown. Yeet down. Yeah.
So first things first, Jay, next time you decide to get attacked by Gunther like that, please make sure the camera's on you, because I thought your ass done fell off the table.
Yeah. Yeah, it looked like Jay was gone over there.
It looked like he done took one step back and said, woo.
Yeah, and then when Gunther gets all fired up, I mean, I know he's got to put his show on and all that, but can you leave the kids alone?
Yeah, brother threw his shirt right at a kid.
He legit said, F them kids, and just went off. And I said, whoa, wait a minute.
Gunther said, I got you yeet. Yeeted that shirt right
that
into
little
the
guy
kid.
was over there shaking his hands and all that, took a jacket right in the mouth. I said, well, damn. Look at this.
Even Pat said something, man, you didn't have to hurt the kid.
Yeah. If I'm that kid, I'm keeping that jacket.
So,
I'm sign that Joker and send me home with it.
We had a discussion about that. We said that that shirt was going to be kept on eBay within 3 hours. Oh, yeah. And then we also said that somebody was going to be coming to that kid and offering him, I don't know, tickets, a package.
Oh, I guarantee you.
A belt. He was going to get something out of it.
Somebody from PR hit him up soon after that incident happened, and they probably told him backstage passes. They probably told him memorabilia, collectibles, anything not to sue.
But Gunther beat our boy Jay down. Jay got up after two power slams or power bombs? Yeah. He gets up and he said, man, I shouldn't probably do this. I shouldn't do this. But Gunther, it's you and me at WrestleMania.
Even though we all knew he was going to do that, right?
It was foregone conclusion.
Yeah, we had only predicted it the minute he won the Royal Rumble, and definitely on last week's show.
So, Hunter.
He listens, though.
So, Hunter, I know you listen, Hunter. Pull that damn trigger. Don't you wait. Don't you pull a Cody Rhodes on us.
Don't Braun Breaker us either. Don't get a guy all the way to the edge and then say a little bit more. We'll need a little bit more on this.
Nah, you better let
it ain't gonna get no damn hotter than it is right now.
You better let that Yeet Man get his moment.
Yeah, what did they say? When you strike the match, the damn flame don't get no hotter than it is when you first strike it. So hell, the flame is the match is struck. Go ahead and light that fire. Otherwise, that damn thing go fizzle out.
Yep, that's it. So congratulations, Jay. We look forward to seeing you go up against Gunther. Gunther, congratulations to you because you're having a hell of a run, man. We loving everything you're doing, and it's going to be a hell of a match. We just know that it is the Yeet Man's time.
Didn't take him long to get to the main event of WrestleMania from his call-up, though, did it?
Didn't.
I mean, he's been on the main roster barely 3 years at this point. He's already main event in WrestleMania. So
that speaks volumes.
Absolutely. I mean, they knew what they had when they got him, and then when he went on the Keith Lee workout plan and got in the shape they wanted him to, he brought everything they wanted to the game. Hell, it was a no-brainer at that point.
Yep. All right, so let's talk about the topic, moving and shaking. So we had let's go from the WWE side first.
Might as well. That's where we got the most from. Yep. We got 10 out of them.
Yep. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to name them all, but I can name most of them. So we got Sonya Deville, we've got AOP.
Yep.
Paul Ellering
went right with him.
Who else did? Giovanni Vinci.
Yeah.
He done split.
We got all those vignettes and all that. We'll get there.
Yeah, all of the stuff we knew wasn't going to work.
Called it when it happened. Yep. Said this is waste of time. And it went what? I think he got one TV match out of that.
Yep.
Oh, great.
I don't know her by her WWE name. I can't remember it right offhand. I know her by her indie name, B. Priestley. I now remember Blair Davenport.
Yeah.
So she was a phenomenal person. Matter of fact, she should have wound up in the Rumble, but it came out that Nikki Bella actually took her spot.
Yeah, well, things happen.
Nikki
Bella takes your spot, you go home.
Yeah, you go home. So. But I firmly believe, what's her name from Legado del Fantasma? She was going to. Electra Lopez. She wound up going her different ways.
Yeah. There's a couple that you forgot that I'm waiting to talk about too. The Good Brothers.
The Good Brothers.
Again.
Yep, the Good Brothers.
So not like this. This ain't the first rodeo for them getting released. I mean, this is probably the third time around for them. So
no, but they had ran their course. As soon as AJ, as soon as AJ flipped into that lone wolf gimmick, I mean that just
he left, and luckily for Michin, she found a way out. They got mid card. But yeah, once that broke up again, it was kind of writing on the wall.
Right. Anybody else that we think of?
That's probably the significance of it.
So out of that group, where are they going to land? What's going to happen?
So the Good Brothers, that's why I remembered them, because they were the primary ones I wanted to talk about. I figure they'll be in TNA. I mean, they've got history in TNA. They've landed in TNA before when, releases happened and whatnot. But I think at this stage of the game, they could still contribute in the ring, but they could also contribute so much more to the brand itself, to the backstage. I know even WWE was using them kind of in a backstage at NXT. They kind of had them working with the guys, in the ring. I know Carl Anderson's really big on that. They like the way he works with talent and all that. And I mean, look at Luke Gallows, right? You got these big guys coming out of the woodworks now, coming out of football and things like that. Luke Gallows would be a great guy to actually, train those guys, train some of those people up. But I don't think you need him on the WWE roster to do it, because then if he is needed, you'd want him where he's needed. To whereas if you assign him to a role like that, or even if he goes to TNA, where he's only working once or twice a week, he's got a lot of free time to do some of that training. I think that's primarily where they're going to go.
So I don't know if they go packaged as a tag team. I'm thinking Luke Gallows is probably done. And it's no secret. He's had a lot of knee issues over the years. Yeah. His mobility in the ring, he's slowed down a lot. So I don't know if he's going to continue. Carl Anderson, though, Carl Anderson's intriguing for me because I think there's two places he can wind up.
Okay.
Carl Anderson made a really, really big name for himself in New Japan.
Yeah.
Leader of the Bullet Club at one point. There is a guy over there right now, Gabe Kidd, that I feel like Carl Anderson could go over there and just freaking tear it up with. I think Gabe Kidd and Carl Anderson in a fight over the leadership of the Bullet Club. Carl coming back.
Bullet Club's still alive.
Bullet Club's still alive. Yep. I feel like they could go back over and have a dust up, and it's no secret that New Japan's in need of big name stars right now. They've had so many people leave, so I think New Japan could be a place. I also think Carl could wind up in AEW. There is a feud that AEW could book if they wanted to, if they would, if they know how.
Well, then therein lies the problem.
Carl Anderson and Jay White toured up in New Japan quite a few times.
So let's say he goes there, right? So you don't see Gallows going with him in any way, shape, or form?
Maybe it's for support. I don't see Gallows wrestling anymore. I don't know that he's going to be able to do it anymore. Otherwise, Gallows is going to wind up looking like Lance Archer no matter where he goes.
Well, I mean, he's almost at that stage anyway.
He's just going to lose no matter where he goes.
That's what they did in WWE, though. I mean, once that, every time they team those guys up with AJ, they had their best parts. But every time they broke them up with AJ, not too long after that, they left. They got released.
So I mean, but at the same time, both of those guys are very well off. They've done well saving their money. They've traveled the world many times over. Worked for plenty of organizations. If they land somewhere, great. If they don't, they're savvy enough to where they're okay.
Plus, like I said, one way or another, there's a place in the business for them. I mean, if they're not out there wrestling, I definitely see Festus. We'll go all the way back to the beginning. I definitely see Festus being able to work with some of those bigger guys and showing them the ropes and things like. So if they want it, there's jobs out there for them.
Who else? Who else you see landing anywhere?
Sonya Deville. She's got to go somewhere, right? I feel like she was always on the brink of breaking through, but there was always something missing. Like, when she was teamed up with Mandy Rose before, I mean, obviously Mandy Rose was Mandy Rose. So it's like, the whole visual thing and all that. But Sonya wasn't bad in the ring. Sonya could go. She wasn't the most polished of the women or anything, but she also wasn't the worst by no means. She had an individual look, especially when she was doing the stuff with Adam Pearce when she was like co-GM and things like that. It shows she has range. So, I mean, she can do a variety of things. I don't see her being done with the wrestling business unless she chose to be.
Where would she land? Where would you see it?
Her, I could see actually end up in AEW. Because, I mean, let's be honest, they need a lot of help over there in the women's division. They got Mariah May, who looks great. Toni Storm, their MVP. Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné, she's there. I mean,
she's just there.
She's there. That's all she's doing right now. But I could see a Sonya Deville going over there and wrestling a Mercedes Moné and maybe helping her round herself out more so she's just not this bland character that she's playing right now. She might be able to play into that with some of the, when she was doing the co-GM stuff. Maybe she could get into that role, something. Maybe be like the GM of the women over there and possibly wrestle at the same time. Something that can put some life into that division. Anything that could put some life into that division is a welcome asset at this point.
So, unfortunately, my opinion is if Sonya goes to AEW, she's going to get buried. It's unfortunate. I think right now, Mercedes Moné, Toni Storm, Mariah May, outside of those three names, you're not going to get anywhere.
So
the only way,
let me bring in a caveat to what if she can get Mandy to go with her and they bring back Fire and Desire? Mandy Rose ain't getting buried in no AEW. You trust me when I tell you.
No, she would, because somebody else just like Sonya and just like Mandy got buried and you hardly ever see her.
Who's that?
Deonna Purrazzo.
Who?
Exactly.
She's nothing like Mandy Rose.
No, she's nothing like Mandy Rose, but the talent as far as her ability to work in the ring, the fact that she's barely seen on TV is an atrocity in AEW. Deonna Purrazzo was great, and when she came in, hell, it was, the world was on fire. It looked like she was going to be the next big thing. She's the next nothing. I mean, it just
Mercedes got there. I mean,
see, that's the thing.
Everything fell by the wayside in the women's division when Mercedes Moné got there.
So you were talking about Sonya going to AEW. I would love for Blair Davenport, B. Priestley, to go back to AEW. She started in AEW, right?
Yeah.
She's phenomenal. She just never got the chance. Because
what she did in NXT and what she did in WWE and all that, it wasn't. Nothing stood out.
Well, there's a reason.
Nothing made her.
There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that.
She's she's carbon copy. I mean,
no. So there is a style that she works that is quote unquote Rev Pro. It's the British style wrestling, right?
Ugh.
They have that in NXT in the men's division.
Okay.
Because of the Heritage Cup.
Yeah.
They did not have anything for her to feel like that was going to be able to showcase her in the women's division at NXT.
Okay.
There's nobody that can work that style with the women in NXT.
No, they got a lot of Japanese and AAA Mexico style.
So if she went back to AEW, there's already a Blair Davenport or B. Priestley in AEW.
Who's that?
Jamie Hayter. I mean, she's the exact same person. She's got that now? Collision.
Exactly.
I mean,
a year ago, she was the hottest thing in women's wrestling. She was on her way to, breaking through and being one of the hottest women's wrestlers in the world.
Yep.
She got an injury, and I mean, when they say absence makes the heart grow fonder, apparently not at AEW, because Tony Khan seems to forget that she was as popular as she was a year and a half ago.
Now, you want to talk about being forgot? Thunder Rosa.
Who? I thought she was a bust. I thought she had quit wrestling and just did Busted Open on Fridays now. I didn't know she was still in the ring. I know she just did a program with, who was it, Mercedes or Mariah May? It was one of those two, and I know she lost, and that kind of ended everything again. But this is AEW's women's wrestling.
So that's what I'm saying. Outside of those big three at the top, those AEW women are getting just pushed down the rung of the ladder.
Yeah. So you don't see a space for a nice women's GM to come in there and say she's taking over the charge and putting herself in the main event matches and doing all the.
They tried
stuff.
that already.
With who?
What's the girl that used to be with CM Punk in WWE?
AJ Lee?
No.
Oh, Serena Deeb.
Serena Deeb.
Yeah,
they tried that with her.
She was a GM or something.
She was supposed to be the leader of the women's locker room, is what they built, and she was the litmus test. Anybody who was, no, it didn't pan out. Yeah. Nothing works.
Yeah, they're gonna have to go. They're gonna have to go a little bit higher. But I mean, like I said, co-GM might be the way, but if they don't have enough organization over there anyway to even have a general GM.
If Sonya Deville pans out in any way, shape, or form, TNA would be where I would see her landing.
That would just kind of be like a trade, though, because I mean, we just got Jordan Grace over, and then we sent some of our undercard talent. That would be like a talent trade.
B. Priestley, if she winds up going anywhere, I would love to see her back on the Rev Pro circuit or back in New Japan. I think those would be her shoots. I don't advise any women's wrestler to go to AEW right now.
Not right now.
Because you go there, your career's going to die.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're going to tag with Mercedes.
Because there's a that don't work for me, brother.
Yeah, well, that's why I say unless you're going to tag with Mercedes right now. Like if if they're individually friends and you're going to tag team with her, oh, you're great then. You're golden. I mean, you sign that contract immediately and start walking. But
and if this conversation offends somebody that is associated with a bank, or money in any way, feel free to call in and talk to us.
They know better.
If it offends somebody out there, driving a Mercedes, if this offends that person,
they know better. while I may think she's attractive, while I may want to have a side conversation after that talk, the talk we're gonna have on this show is gonna be a whole lot of reality, and I don't think that people are trying to hear that right now.
In all seriousness, though, for real, Mercedes, you want to talk to your boys? Call on in. We would be loved to have you on there.
I dare you, because you ain't like I said, the conversation we have after the mics go off. Oh yeah, that'll be something different. We got that talk, but the conversation that we're gonna have on the air, oh no, you ain't ready for that.
There's one other person that I think could land somewhere, and I really do believe that they would do okay. AOP. I think if they landed in TNA or AEW, I think they would do okay.
So with their look and their design, yeah, absolutely right. I mean,
will they get used correctly in AEW?
So therein lies the problem.
No, they won't.
The tag team division over there is all over the place. I feel like if they brought AOP in, they would bring them in, hot shot, put the tag titles on them, or maybe like the 6-man titles, team them up with somebody, whatever the case may be. And then they would have the Bucks come back and beat them. And I mean, that would make all the wrestling be a laughing stock again. So that would be actually worse off for the company than it would be to bring them in and try and do something with them. The payoff would be so horrible that it would turn people off for what they're already turning away from.
All right, we ready to move on to the AEW side?
Yeah, because I think there's a lot more exciting conversation going on over there.
So 3 people have left AEW. Where they are going, nobody knows. But
we know about one.
We're going to talk about it.
We know where one's.
So Ricky Starks.
Who?
Yeah.
The absolute one.
The Revolution will be televised.
Yeah, the absolute one. So he took that straight from Kendrick Lamar's
he sure did.
show. I mean,
he sure did.
He watched football on Sunday. And he was like, ooh.
He
sat there and wrote notes like, man, what all can I take from this?
He got on that mic and said, say Drake.
Yep. I mean, maybe he's A minor. Yep. Oh, never mind.
Sorry. Ricky Starks, Aleister Black. We're going to call him Aleister Black.
We might as well. It's coming.
It's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. You might as well.
or
Rusev Day.
Rusev Day.
Today will be Rusev Day. Absolutely. Because there ain't no chance Miro's coming.
Miro.
I'm pretty sure the reason we haven't seen him in a while, I'm sure he's growing his hair back out as we speak. He's probably getting fitted for his outfits again. But yeah, Rusev Day will reign supreme again.
All right. So I'm hearing from you, Frank, that you think all 3 are WWE bound.
So one's already there, right?
One is already there.
The absolute one. So he hadn't said Ricky Starks yet. I don't know if this is a contract thing. I don't know if WWE is trying to use it.
So if that boy don't get his name, all hell is going to break
loose. He did a backstage promo after his quote unquote debut, after his Scott Hall debut in NXT last night. He did a promo afterwards where he kept referring to himself as the absolute one, and I'm like, so it would be WWE-esque to get a name that they could trademark and put a label on.
They've trademarked 12 names recently.
Yeah, did you see the names they trademarked?
Osiris Jones.
Optimus Jones.
Yeah,
Optimus, like Optimus Prime, but it was Optimus Jones.
That boy better get his real name.
What was like Booga Looga or something like that? I'm like, or Ooga Booga. I'm like, what the hell?
That's some Vince shit right there.
Yeah, right. I think that's some leftover stuff that they had in that old, what do they call it? The old boxing gimmicks. Yep. I think that was some leftover shit they had on some email somewhere. They're like, hey, we never did use these. Let's grab these.
Bruce is in the back going, hey, I remember those names.
Yeah, 1984. When I first got into WWE, we had a box there.
That's what we were going to call Bastion Booger before we got
we had all those names there. Akeem the African Dream was going to be Oompa Loompa.
Oompa Loompa.
I think even at one point I even saw like Jennifer Lopez on there, and I'm like, wait a minute, y'all just fired an Elektra Lopez. What the hell? You can't go with a Jennifer Lopez. Yep. Come on now.
So I'm at odds with you. I think only 2 out of the 3 are going to wind up in WWE.
So which one do you think is not? Because one's already gone, so we're only left with 2 to fool around with.
I do not think Miro is going in WWE. I do not think he's going to land there.
Why not?
The deck is too stacked. There's too many powerhouses, monsters. There's too many. Could he wind up in there? Absolutely. Will he go back to the main roster? No. Could he show up on NXT and be a powerful opponent against Oba? Absolutely. I still don't see it happening. I think there's something going on with Miro or Rusev or whatever you want to call him. I think there's something going on there. And even though they have said that they are now separated, something happened between him and Lana. I can't put a pin in it yet.
Like I don't know, but as soon as his release got announced, she tweeted out Happy Rusev Day. So
she did. And that's why I'm thinking maybe they're back together.
I was going to say, apparently it's nothing negative.
Right.
There could be, but I think Lana's also been anxiously waiting to see if she could get her feet back in the wrestling water. So,
but honestly though, Miro, Rusev, whatever you want to call him, goes back to WWE, and if he is main roster bound, do you see him anywhere else besides mid card?
No, absolutely not. But you need mid card, right?
Dude, their mid card is stacked already.
But it's not. They got so many guys that are. So John Cena's only going to be there for 1 year, right? Then he's gone. Roman Reigns don't come around a lot no more, right? So he's essentially gone. We're probably thinking Cody's not going to walk out of Mania with the title, right? So, I mean, spots are going to, guys are going to take time off. Guys are going to disappear. CM Punk ain't wrestling for the title if what the rumors are saying are true, which means he's probably going to be gone after Mania. I mean, so the bottleneck that we always run into is probably going to be empty AF after WrestleMania, because I think if Cody loses the title, he ain't wrestling 52 weeks next year. He's going to be gone. I mean, you might have 5 or 6 main event slots wide open at the top to where some of these guys that are ready to break through can move up. Well, you got to have somebody to backfill there. They got to have somebody to work with. So if you're going to give me one, if you're going to put the title on Cena, right? And you're not going to, let's say Cena, let's say that's because that's what we want to see happen. Let's go with who was one of the people that Cena wrestled at WrestleMania in the past? Recently. And lost to. Rusev in a tank.
Yeah.
So wouldn't he be a good backlash main event for Cena, or possibly SummerSlam if he comes back with the right push?
I mean, it was the same match though when he went up against Solo and Solo squashed him.
It's all the same match.
So here's my.
But Cena can't get squashed with the title.
We're going to divert. We're going to divert. Let's talk about Cena.
Work our way back there.
Yeah, let's talk about Cena Cody for a minute. Let's divert. The rumor mills are swirling that our triple threat match is going to happen, but it's not the triple threat that we talked about. The triple threat we talked about was Punk, Seth, Roman.
Yeah.
Yeah. The triple threat that's rumored to be happening is Punk, Cody, Cena.
Yuck.
That is,
I dislike
and
every bit of that.
And here's where they're calling it. They're calling it as Cena wins the Elimination Chamber. Punk calls in the favor to get into that main event.
Well,
and then Roman and Seth,
and then Roman and Seth already in it though.
Well, but Roman and Seth then go at 1-on-1. It's a 1-on-1 match between those two.
I could see that. I mean, obviously that would be on the table, but then why do the spot that they did after the Rumble where Seth attacked both Roman and Punk? I mean,
I think what they're trying to do, because the way that all played out, Seth targeted Roman more than he did Punk. Punk got up and got in Paul's face. So I think that's how they're trying to spin it. Again, there's 10 million plates spinning at the same time. Yeah. We don't know which one they're going to pick.
Well, I mean, that's a good problem to have. Right. The fact that they can divvy up and make you think this, or, while you got one hand, you're looking at the left hand while the right hand's working, things like that. Those are great. The only thing, though, if Cena's going to win the title, win his 17th title, I just don't want a lot of shenanigans.
I don't either. I want it 1-on-1 against Cody.
Exactly. And I don't want I don't want like last year when Cody won, where you've got 15 run-ins and all.
I want it straight up against Cody, 1-on-1 match, clean match, no interference, no crossroads on chairs, no tables, no announce tables, nothing.
Just have a match.
Straight up match.
I mean, one, if the other triple threat that we're thinking of is going to happen, then I don't think that Cena Cody thing main event's night 1. So if it's going to main event night 2, we don't need a whole bunch of shenanigans. At this point, we've seen everything that WrestleMania has to offer up to that point. Then all we have to do is just get to the main event match, let it happen. Now, as I say that, there is one thing that I've been thinking of for a couple of days now that I wouldn't mind seeing in that match, just because it could go so much further, right? Cody and The Rock, they settled their beef, right? They
supposedly,
right? Now, what if Cena and Cody get in the match and Rock gets in there and costs Cody the title and gives it to Cena, the guy who he basically handed the torch to and gave the title to 10 years ago. Or 15 years ago at this point now. What if he gets in there and does that to Cody again this time, and then we work our way into a Cody Rock WrestleMania 42 match? That I won't shake a finger at. I'm not going to say no. Give me all of that. I'm here for every inch of that. The rest of the shenanigans and all that, I don't need that. But if we just get a Rock run in to cost Cody the title, to reignite that feud, and put Cena over for the 17th title from the final boss, hey, at that point, I'm just going to say, thank the Booker's Alliance, because we gave that one to you on a silver platter.
So what's the word you used a while ago? Yuck.
No, that's yeet.
No.
Hell yeet.
Nope. So if they have officially sprayed the water hose, put the fire out. They've rebuilt the Taj Mahal. They've done everything that they could do right now to me as a fan to blow up Cody Rock. I'm not interested in that anymore.
That's because there's nothing to be interested in.
No, that there could have been. Here's the thing. You built it. You teased it. You got us excited about it. And then you cock teased us. That's what you did. You took it away from us.
Okay.
You took it away.
You now imagine where I was sitting at about a year ago at this time when The Rock came out and challenged Roman Reigns one-on-one, as Cody said, I'm going to give you my title shot, blah, blah, blah.
It wasn't time. It wasn't the right time.
Yeah, the hell with all that. Everything that you're saying right now is exactly what I said last year at the same point in time, and you were on the other side of that argument like, we need our main event. We need our match.
We are on the road to WrestleMania right now, and me and you are two different cars, sir.
Exactly. As usual, this is what usually happens at this point in time. But
and so it begins.
And so 1 year I was correct, 1 year you were correct. Yep. I'm putting my cards out on the table right now. Is it a royal flush or is it a pair? We'll find out in a couple of weeks.
We'll find out.
We'll find out in a few weeks.
I think after Elimination Chamber we will know the direction, or maybe we won't.
I think we'll get more hints, but I don't think we'll
know the direction. But I think here's the thing. Just like this whole Cody Rock thing, they had it. They had lightning in a bottle, and you basically poured it down the drain.
Roman Rock?
Nope.
Yep.
Cody Rock.
No.
Yep.
Roman Rock.
They've poured it down.
Because we had it. We saw it. We had every bit of it. It was in our hands.
So we both salty, but just on two different situations.
Well, because everything that you're saying is my exact argument from last year, and I was salty last year, but you got your payoff. So this year, guess whose turn it is this year?
All right, so here's why I said all that to say this. This whole thing with CM Punk's favor.
Ooh.
If you don't pay CM Punk's favor off, you've essentially poured it down the drain. It has to pay off for WrestleMania.
Does it though?
It has to.
We every year for the last 3 WrestleManias now, we've said it has to pay off for WrestleMania. And none of it has. Everything that we predicted has all shit on us at WrestleMania, but we've stayed intrigued and we've been more excited. Point of it is, we don't know where this road to WrestleMania is going to end until the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania. That's going to be the only time where we actually know what really happened and what culminated and what stirred into something new. All the rest of it. But back to the topic at hand, though. Those, the Aleister Black, the Miro, I think we see all them after WrestleMania. I think the WrestleMania after Raw, or the Raw after WrestleMania, is where we're going to see both of those guys. I feel like we'll see them in different spots, but I feel like that's where we're going to see them both, and hopefully they'll be used correctly.
So now, speaking of Aleister Black, what a great fan experience. You're going to disagree with this. What a great fan experience would this be if Cody does retain at Mania, no matter who he faces.
Okay.
If Cody retains either the Raw or SmackDown after Mania, whichever one happens, right?
Uh-huh.
What if Aleister Black comes back to headhunt for Cody and renew that rivalry that they had in AEW?
I'll be honest, at best vaguely remember.
Barely remember, right?
Yeah,
see, I knew you were going to go there.
Yeah, I mean, I do.
So their rivalry,
2 weeks ago, I barely remembered Cody was the TNT champ at one time. You can't expect me to remember a rivalry he had with a mid-carder.
So this rivalry that they had caused Cody to almost retire. He left his boots in the middle of the ring one night when he lost against Aleister Black.
Yeah, that was also poor AEW storytelling, unfortunately.
I get you.
I was like Arn when he pulled the pew pew out and said, "I'm gonna get you," and we're like, "Wait, hold on, that's not right."
Also, when he fought against, let's call him by what he was, Malachi Black. Let's call him. Okay, so when he fought against Malachi Black, that was the first time that the fans actually started to turn on Cody in AEW because it was in the match with Malachi Black, I believe, where he threw his weight belt into the audience and the audience threw it back.
I do remember that instance happening. I have no recollection of the surrounding events to it, but I do remember that happening because that's when I realized at that moment Cody wouldn't be there much longer. I was like, we're on borrowed time here if this is happening.
But there's some elements to
Thanks, AEW fans. Look at all the wonderful wrestling you gave us for that one show of distaste for Cody.
But there was some elements going on to Malachi Black though that unfortunately WWE is already experimenting with, and that's with Karrion Kross. Exactly. Yeah, I know you're not going to remember. I got you, but I got you.
Karrion Kross he's a man with no family though at this point. Where's his team at?
Yes, they gone.
Yeah.
So Karrion Kross, the subtle storyline telling that they're getting across with Karrion is he is the demise of everything that you love inside WWE. He's the demise. He makes what you love to see crumble and fade away.
So I gotta ask you before you go any farther, did anyone love to see the Final Testament?
No. I ain't talking about Final Testament.
Well, he was definitely the destroyer of that. I mean, he turned the hourglass over, and as the final sands ran out of the hourglass, Paul Ellering and AOP got released again.
He destroyed the New Day. His influence destroyed the New Day.
I mean, they're still wrestling,
but as far as their heel turn, he's the cause.
Okay.
The awesome truth, he's the reason the Miz turned.
Okay, I guess.
So there's a subtle story that they're telling.
Remember like 2 years ago when we were real excited about Karrion Kross, so we were like, man, when he came back and we're like, man, this is going to be a good run. They're going to use him correctly. And what the hell happened with any of that?
You know why? We've said it before. It's so stacked at the top.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have called him up.
I mean, they didn't. At that point, they didn't have a choice. But the problem is they called him up when they still had Vince around, and then Vince shaved his head and put that
BDSM gear.
Yeah, right. He hooked him up in Demolition's old gear and said we're going to run with it, and all hell all hell broke loose. Somehow or another, he forgot the whole entrance thing that they did at NXT that made him great. All that went away. So
I can tell you where he's going. I know where he's going.
Where's that?
He's getting ready to be the new member of Judgment Day.
Who?
Karrion Kross.
I thought we were talking about Aleister Black.
No, but
who could also be another member of Judgment Day.
Dominic Mysterio said we need another member since JD's not around. Final Testament just lost everybody but Karrion Kross. They're going to put Karrion Kross in Judgment Day.
Aren't they on different channels? No. Didn't they just trade Final Testament to SmackDown?
Mm-mm.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yep.
See how much I'm watching the Final Testament.
See how much you're paying attention to the mid card?
I mean,
you are not, sir.
That's exactly why Miro fit right in there. Because I mean, hell, he's been in.
He's not going to be noticed.
He's right. Yeah, we won't know when it'll be the same old, but at least he'll be on TV. I mean, we haven't seen him in a year and a half at this point. So
now I will say this, Hunter, if you bring that man back, Aleister Black, give him his damn entrance.
Oh, yeah. He's
please give him his entrance.
If he learned anything. So Malachi Black, I think we can wander down this path for a minute. Malachi Black and Karrion Kross are almost the same character.
They're
anyway,
almost the
right?
same character.
They have a damn good similarity. And what hurt Karrion the most when he came up to the main roster? He lost the entrance that got him over in NXT.
Yep.
Malachi Black, Aleister Black, when he got called up to the main roster, he had the entrance that he used in NXT, but he didn't have nothing else. They didn't have no programs. They didn't have anything to make him stand out, right?
Yep.
Let him take the little things, the few things that he did well in AEW, let him bring that and incorporate it into his new character. Find a way to fit him in. Hell, put him with Aleister Black. I mean, put him with Karrion Kross at this point. Yep. Why not, right? neither one of them really got nothing going on. They both got smoking hot wives. So, I mean, that could be a club.
It's true.
So, hell, put them in that. Do something.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Yeah. That's what I said. Make that a little boys club or something. Put them in the thing and let them go at it. Do something. But, I mean, hell, while we're walking down that path, also include Miro in that, because Miro has a smoking hot ex-wife.
Now we're getting into the League of Nations.
Yeah, well, so I was afraid of, when I first said Miro coming back, and I was thinking if he goes to the top of the card on Raw, the first thing I thought was, well, what if Gunther went? And then immediately I was like,
yep.
let's kill that. Right, I was like, let's kill that whole conversation before we end up in the League of Nations again.
So Ricky Starks, though, want to circle back to him real quick.
Absolute one.
Shows up on NXT in the crowd chanting his name. Homeboy comes out there, says a Scott Hall line, but he improvised it just a little bit. He said, "Oh, you know my name."
Yeah, because Ricky's definitely good for biting other people's lines. So why not?
I wanted him to go, but you don't know why I'm here. Yeah, he didn't finish it.
No, I think with Sean being down there, he's like, you can't say the whole thing. Right.
But I love look. If they let this dude come in, okay. Ethan Page had the all ego gimmick. Okay, he's already obnoxious, right? So Ricky Starks is also on that same vein a little bit with the obnoxious part of it,
big time.
But he's more like on the Rock side of it. Like he'll be able to get on the babyface side of it.
Yeah. If they play it right. I mean, the fans already like him. You know, they knew who he was. They know why he's here. We didn't have to wonder.
Yeah.
Why not just lean into it? Just live into it, lean into it.
But dude, that boy better keep his name. Come on, Hunter. That was Sean. Y'all better keep that boy's name.
So the thing with NXT, even if he goes to the main roster and doesn't keep his name, I think everybody that's come to NXT at some point or other has kept their name, because they're going to chant it anyway. And in a small soundstage like that, you're not going to drown it out. Yeah. So if you call him, whatever in the fuck, if you call him that, they're going to call Ricky Starks every 2 minutes anyway. Figure out a way to get that done, get it done, right?
Even if you got to drop the S and just call him Ricky Stark.
Something, right? Or put it in a Z like you do with Taz. Put 2 Z's at the end. Figure out something, right? Yeah. But because if you call him, Dirk Dashing or something like that, they're going to yell Ricky Starks every minute of his match.
Ricki, Ricki.
Yeah, figure out something. But yeah, you can't change his name and his persona completely, because they're going to chant it anyway, and then you're just going to have to deal with that the entire match every single time he comes out.
Yep. All right. So a lot of moving, a lot of shaking, a lot of things going on. So what's going to happen? Where everybody going to wind up? It is yet to be seen. I believe you are on to something though there, Frank. The Raw after WrestleMania, I think, is going to be pretty surprising. Yeah. You're going to have some good ones coming up.
There'll be some interest in watching that for damn sure.
Yep. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening to today's episode. Reach out on our social media platforms. Drop us a line. Thank you to our sponsor, Green River. It's good whiskey there. Yeah. We appreciate you, whiskey. We appreciate it. But with that, everybody, we will bid you adieu.
All right. Let me find my Blue Chew now. We're done.
Yo, God, stay away from that Blue Chew, man.
Oh, shit.
Today's podcast was produced by SBP. You can find our podcast on all major podcast platforms. Also, connect with us on our social media accounts. Search for The Bookers Alliance on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X.